Hi, thank you very much for purchasing a Viavito PT100X folding pool table. Today, this video is going to show you how to put one of these together with the minimum of hassle. And it shouldn't take us too long, so let's get cracking. Okay, so first thing to do is get the yellow straps off. Once you've got them off, lay the table down and pull off the lid so that that comes off nice and easy. You should find from the back of that the pool table is actually upside down in the box. Take out the cues, the instruction manual, and a box full of accessories. Once you've done that, you'll notice some inner packaging on the pool table. You should leave that in position for now. But what we are going to do is just tilt the whole thing up onto its edge, and underneath we'll find all the other bits that we need to build the table. So we'll put those down there, put these down here, and put these down there. And once we've done that, we can just lay the table straight back down in its box, and we're ready for the next stage. All right, so now we've got it all open. Inside, you'll find the main box, which has got all of your accessories in and everything you need to build the table, all the nuts, bolts, washers, and so on. In here, you'll find the balls, triangle, brush, and chalk. You'll find one plastic bag full of two more plastic bags. There's one plastic bag which has got a lot of bolts, nuts, and washers in it. One which has got 4 bolts and washers in it. And some little turn handles. So what we're going to do now that that's done is we're going to put the back legs on first. So these are these bits here. They're not the L-shaped ones as you've got there. These are the back legs, so we're going to put those on first. And the completely flat top we want pointing on the floor, and then they'll come downwards. You'll have a curve here. That curve needs to be pointing inwards on the table, not outwards. And you've got a couple of metal studs here as well. You want those facing on the inside of the table. To secure those, what we're going to need is a handle. And from the small packet of bolts and washers, which contains just 4 bolts and washers, what we're going to do is we're going to use those to affix those to it. So just put the washers on top onto the screws as a first step, and then we're ready to go. So all we're going to do is pull away some of the packaging here now. There you go. And as I said, studs facing inwards, so the flat edge is facing the outside. And on the outside edge, we're simply going to put one of those bolts, like so, one of those handles like so. That'll screw straight in. Now there's no need to tighten it at this stage, we're just putting it on, so nice and loose, letting it wobble around a little bit. We'll need that in a moment. And then your bolt with a washer goes in here, and just turn it a couple of times. You don't need to fix it at this stage. We want it nice and loose. Once we've done that, we need to get the center support on. It's not the thinnest that you've got here, piece. Okay, it's the same width as the other piece, but it doesn't have a logo on it. It doesn't matter which way up this goes. All we're going to do is from the packet of bolts that has lots of nuts and bolts in it, we're going to take 4 bolts and 4 washers. Okay, and all we're going to do there is put a washer on each bolt, like so. 4 bolts, 4 washers there, and then inside you'll also find the gold coloured studs which have got a thread in them. So you're going to need 4 of those as well. And what we're going to do with those is in this piece of wood, you've got 4 holes on the flat side, and all you're going to do with the little cross thread pointing upwards, you're just going to put it in so that at the ends the bolts can go in. So if you just line that up, push them in, and we're going to make each one sit so that it's ready to take the bolt at the end. Now, what you may find with these is that they're quite difficult to push right the way in to get them lined up. And if you're having trouble with them, then you should put it just on a hard surface and give it a good press. And if you're having trouble with that, then give it a gentle tap with a hammer, and that'll put them into position for you. So all you're trying to do there is just give it a good push and a good push. And what you now have is these lined up ready to take the bolts at the end. So just for aesthetics, have the side with the studs pointing towards the inside. And again, this is just finger tight. Once you've done that, there's a small Allen key that's supplied, and just go around and get them all nice and tight. At that point, tighten these 4 up, and also tighten the bolts you've put in here and here, and tighten them with your hands as well. Okay, so now we've got these legs on, they're nice and solid. Let's get the other legs on and we'll be ready to start playing pretty much. So it's very much the same thing as with this side, except this time our legs are going to be pointing towards the out of the table, and the metal studs on the inside should be facing the inside, not the outside of the table, so it should be here. You've got 3 holes here. You're putting the leg, we're going to put the leg on the 2 holes closest to the inside of the table, with the one closest to the edge unoccupied. Like before, the little handles are going to be towards the outside, so they're on here. And again, we don't want to do these up too tight at this stage, we just want them to hold in position while we get everything else ready. And again, from the pack of 4 bolts, take, not the big pack with everything, but the pack of 4 bolts, take the bolt, put the washer on the bolt, and again, just finger tight. Give that a couple of turns just so that it holds in position. We want this to be quite wobbly at this stage. So we'll do that again. Replicate that exactly on the other side. Okay, so there are 2 boards left now. One is a thick board, one is a thinner one. The thick one is going to go here, and the thin one here. So we're going to put those in exactly the same way as we did on the other side, which will be from the pack with a lot of bolts. Just turn these upside down and you'll find 4 holes. And with those, we're going to take the little gold studs with the screwdriver fitting facing upwards, and we're just going to turn that, we're going to put them in so that you can screw a bolt in the end. There we go. Okay. Every one of the bolts that's left now needs to have a washer on it, so I'd suggest it's actually easier just to put them on before you start doing anything else. These are the only bolts you'll have left as well, so it's nice and simple. So let's just get all those ready. And then very much like before. So now with this one, it's got a logo on it. Make sure that it goes on facing outwards and upside down. So we'll just put that in place. Couple of turns with your hand, nothing more. It's just to hold it in position. There we go. And then this last bit, you want the, doesn't really matter which way it goes, but you typically want the logo facing downwards and out to the side. And it's the same bolt, same 4 bolts, just goes in exactly the same way. And then once you've got those in position, take your Allen key and just get everything tightened up properly. So you're tightening all of these, this one and this with your hand. Same on the other side. And we're just about ready to play. Okay, now that we've finished tightening all of these bolts, and the hand knobs as well, you'll find that you've got 2 sets of very sturdy feet here, and all we've got to do now is flip it over. Now you will need 2 people for that unless you really are incredibly strong, but all you need to do is get either end, lift it cleanly and flip it over and drop it onto its feet. Don't lean it on the edge of the feet. You can cause damage to the table doing that. So just a clean lift and a flip, put it down again, and you're ready to play. Right, now that we've flipped the table over, we're ready to play. Open up the boxes, and in the box you'll find all the balls. And that's it, you know how to play pool. Thank you once again for buying the Viavito PT100X.